Look, a tree is shedding its leaves. A small kitten becomes a cat. A chick comes out of its shell. A rosebud opens into a beautiful flower. Which of these shows growth? Click on the correct option. That is correct. The kitten grows into an adult cat. Growth is a common characteristic of all living things, including humans. That is not correct. This tree is shedding its leaves. It is not growing. That is not correct. The chick is hatching. It is not growing. That is not correct. The rosebud is blooming. It is not growing. In this unit, you are what is growing and You are now in Form 3. You have grown a lot since you were a child. Think about the time when you were small and compare it with how you are now. How tall were you compared to your parents? How tall are you now? Could your parents carry you easily when you were a child? Can your parents carry you easily now? Notice that you have become taller and heavier since you were a child. You have been growing. Growth is the irreversible increase in the size of an organism. Growth is a characteristic of all living things. All living things grow. Remember, when you described how you have grown, you talked about how tall and how heavy you have become. That is how we measure growth in humans. We measure growth through height and mass. We can see how much we have grown by plotting a graph. Try doing this yourself. Look at this table. See the height and mass at the various ages. Then, using the height and mass in the table, plot a height graph and a mass graph into your activity sheet. This will show you a growth curve through the years. Click. Does your graph look like this? Does your graph look like this? The table shows the average height of Growth is the irreversible increase in the size of an organism. Growth rate can be determined by measuring the changes in height and body mass. Look at the baby boy and girl. They grow from being children to teenagers and finally becoming adults. We can see that male and female have slightly different growth rates, especially during adolescence. Why? The process of growth in humans is different at different stages. During the first 3 years, which is the infancy stage, growth is rapid. After that, growth is slower but steady throughout the childhood years. During these years, children develop their intellectual ability, strength, and coordination. Another period of rapid growth happens during adolescence. This is the stage where children are transforming into adults. Physical and emotional changes occur as they undergo puberty. Growth lessens and stops at adulthood. Once humans reach old age, negative growth occurs where there is a decrease in the height and body mass. Look at the growth curves for male and female from infancy to adulthood in terms of body weight. Generally, the growth curve is the same, but there is a difference in the growth rates. During infancy, the growth rate for a male is the same as that of a female. Then, the growth rate of a male exceeds that of a female during childhood. However, between the ages of 11 to 15, the growth rate of a female exceeds that of a male. Later, in the adolescent years, the growth rate of a male again exceeds that of a female. Male and female have different growth rates, especially during adolescence. This is because a female achieves puberty at an earlier age and ends her adolescence earlier, whereas a male reaches puberty and ends his adolescence at a later age. So, normally a female grows faster in terms of height and weight at the early adolescent stage. But later in the adolescent stage, a male outgrows a female because his growth period is longer. Although the growth curve for humans is the same, there is a difference between the growth rates in male and female. Can you tell what the similarities and differences are? Observe the growth curves for male and female in terms of height. Based on the growth curves, fill in your activity sheet. Discuss the growth pattern in males and females with your friends and teacher. Then, click Check Answer. Match the stages of growth to the descriptions of human growth. Drag and drop the words into the correct boxes. Well done! Which of the following graphs shows the males and during infancy, males and females have the same rapid growth rate. During childhood, the growth rate of males exceeds that of females. During early adolescence, the growth rate of females exceeds that of males because females achieve puberty earlier. Later, in the adolescent years, the growth rate of males increases rapidly and exceeds that of females. Growth lessens and stops at adulthood. Males and females may experience negative growth at old age. Look at this poor child in the hospital. Why do you think the child looks like this? Growing needs a lot of energy. A growing child needs food rich in carbohydrates and fats to provide them energy. Children also need protein in their diet to build new tissues for their body. Vitamins and minerals should also be included in their diet for healthy development of the bones and teeth. Vitamins and minerals are also important for body protection against diseases. When children do not have proper nutrition, their physical and mental growth will be affected. This child is suffering from a disease called kwashiorkor because of insufficient protein. Thus, not having nutritious food can cause stunted growth and food-deficient diseases. Why are these nutrients required? Drag and drop the correct answers into the empty boxes. Why are these nutrients required? Drag and drop the correct answers into the empty. What causes kwashiorkor in children? Nutritious food is important for physical and mental growth because growth needs energy, vitamins, and minerals for the development of healthy and normal children. Which of the following is true? Breastfeeding is an important period. Click on one of the questions to see the answer. Growth is the irreversible increase in the size of an organism. Growth in humans is measured by increase in mass and height. The growth rates of males and females are similar in the following stages of life. Infancy, very rapid growth rate. Adulthood, growth lessens and stops. Old age, negative growth rate. The growth rates of males and females differ in the following stages of life. Childhood, steady growth rate, but growth rate of males exceeds that of females. Adolescence, rapid growth rate during puberty. Since females reach puberty earlier, growth rate of females exceeds that of males in the early adolescent years. But since the growth period of males is longer, growth rate of males exceeds that of females in the later adolescent years. Nutritious food is important for healthy growth. Malnutrition will lead to diseases and defects in physical and mental growth. Breastfeeding is an important period of bonding between mother and child. Breast milk allows the baby's immune and digestive system to develop. Scientists have discovered that humans act as inflammation soothers, immune system enhancers, and germ fighters. Do you think breastfeeding is still commonly practiced? What are the amazing facts about human milk? Find out more and discuss. Sometimes there are people who grow. Breastfeeding is an important period. Sometimes there are people who grow really tall, up to 8 feet, and there are some who only grow up to 2 feet. Do you think the abnormal growth of being very tall or very short is due to unbalanced nutrition? Discuss.